Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel,
I'm your co-host, Emma Wiegel.
and today we're going to be talking about the Codex of Worlds for Monster of the Week. Now, this is a supplement that is currently being kickstarted, so at the time of this recording, March 8th, I think, it has 6 days remaining. So some of this, if you watch this later, the Kickstarter may be over, but you can always get copies of things to back or kit. Now, I should point out that this is the first Kickstarter I have ever backed, although my husband actually backed it for me. So thanks a lot, Raghav. With the Codex of the World, this is an absolutely massive supplement. It comes in at over 400 pages, and it's going to be in this cute little mini book form that Evil Hat seems to like to do. This is a game that is powered by the apocalypse. It's a supplement for Monster of the Week. There's a variety of things you get in here. Some of the ones at the beginning are going to have limited applicability based on your style of game. For examples, there's rules for atonement mysteries, making your monstrous characters less monstrous. Non-lethal play, if you want to play more with kids or maybe lean into the Scooby-Doo of it all, rather than, say, Supernatural or Dresden Files.
My current group is kind of leaning into that a bit more.
Into the non-lethal?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. It also has the dreaded safety tools, which is my personal, why does every horror game have to include the X card now? But that's my opinion. You feel differently about it.
I do.
Why is that?
Generally, there are some lines that people just don't want to cross within a group or don't feel comfortable having to explain why they don't want to cross them. Certain life experiences might have led that way. So it's just sort of a, hey, you know, it might just be a group. You may not be super close friends. So it could just be like a, hey, let's not talk about this.
And see, for me, if I'm running a horror game, if I want to kick a toddler through an industrial fan, I'm going to kick a toddler through an industrial fan.
I mean, people also use Monster of the Week for not as much horror-themed things as, like, eldritch horror or horrible, terrifying things. My group is currently using it for more of a Scooby-Doo approach. So we use it more for, you know, having fun and goofing off, fighting monsters that way with a relatively simple and easy-to-use system.
That works. Now, the first major, like what I think is really impressive supplementation for this is the team playbooks.
Yes.
What this does is it allows you make your characters and then you can sort of assemble a meta framework around them in a team or organization that they work for. Now, there's a whole bunch here. We're not going to be able to spend a lot of time on all of them, but they include things like the Agents in Black, which is slightly more comedic Men in Black, more extraterrestrials than horror necessarily. Although personally, I read that and saw Torchwood. For those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know I have 3 touchstones for a game. Can it do Dresden? Can it do Torchwood? Can it do Farscape? Monster of the Week can do 2 out of those 3. Easily. And I'm not convinced I couldn't bang this into Farscape if I really wanted to.
Yeah, actually, you really could.
So some other playbooks include Always on the Road for your supernatural style, The Chosen One and Entourage, Buffy, Guardians of the Borderland. Now this one really appeals to me because it's the idea that your characters live in this liminal space where the boundaries between the worlds are weak and things can cross over easily. Now, my first thought about this was sort of the rural hollers of West Virginia, but there's no reason this liminal space can't be in an abandoned slaughterhouse in downtown Detroit.
Exactly.
Can you imagine a real urban decay feel to this where that boundary is someplace in the middle of a rotting city?
Yeah.
Imps, International Monster and Paranormal Service. This is your BPRD or Thunderbirds if you go back that far. Last Survivors, your world died and now you're in this one trying to prevent the same thing from happening. Mercenaries, this gives you a real Monster Hunter International feel. The one you really enjoyed was Suburban Watch Group.
That I just love the image of the neighborhood kooks all getting together and being right about the monster invasion. And you have like your suburban stay-at-home mom who's at her crochet club and she says she's at the bridge club, but it's not bridge. Or, you know, you have your old kooky grandpa who always says something's afoot, but no one ever believes him. You know, characters like that can lead into a lot more of the comedy side of it.
I think that one would be fun. Then there's Touring Band, which I immediately said no to
Oh,
with
we're
my
gonna
group.
play it.
No, 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 we're not.
Austin will run it.
You know what? But I made my group make me a promise because we're currently playing a great Monster of the Week game. I made my group make me a promise, which was we're in one now, which had a team playbook that Emma came up with as the framework for the game. Go
Yes.
ahead and tell them about it.
Oh. We work at a pizza shop and we get calls that are not normal orders. They're from like a secret menu and they're code for different monsters. We're the secret paranormal service that the pizza place offers.
So, like, what are some of the codes? Do you remember what we used?
Oh, the one I came up with for vampires, for like a coven of like 5 or more vampires, was an extra large margarita pizza with extra garlic and hold the pepperoni or salami.
Okay. And the one I did for an Efreet, which was a fire demon, was
Buffalo sauce.
buffalo sauce, Caribbean jerk chicken,
Yeah.
and 4 times the jalapenos.
Yes.
So, heat, fire, get it? I know, I'm funny. So now the other thing that this book gives you is other worlds, because World of Darkness assumes that you're living in our world, but we're
Not World of Darkness.
Oh, excuse me, you're right, I
That's
can't
right.
say that. The World of Dimness in Monster of the Week assumes that it's our world, but where there's weird stuff going on. This actually expands it into where you can play in other worlds. For example, there's one of This Strange Old House, that Bob Villa show that you don't remember, where you inherit a house, and in the house, all the supernatural weirdness takes place within there. Imagine if the Winchester house actually had doors to other worlds.
Yeah, I'd play the hell out of that.
Gothic Century, which is your Victorian, like 1800 style game. If you wanted to play Rippers through Monster of the Week, this is the way to do it. The Monster Marches, which is as close to The Witcher as I think we're going to be able to get through Powered by the Apocalypse game. And Bone Spear, which is another one of these that I said no to, where you play Stone Age characters. And
he doesn't know we're also going to play that.
I just have this bad feeling about that world where it's going to turn into
so much fun.
The Quest for Fire meets Caveman, and just no.
Yep.
So anyway, as you can see, we have some different opinions. But if you like Monster of the Week, and I really do, I recently foolishly pledged that this would be the only game I would run this year.
I mean, I'm also running a Monster of the Week game now, and I'm already obsessed with it.
So
it's really easy to teach people.
It is. This is a great game. It's a great way to get into it. If you enjoy Monster of the Week, get your hands on this supplement because it's great. I just said great a bunch, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's great.
Go
ahead.
You forgot to talk about the new playbook.
Which one?
The Spectacular.
Oh, no, that's in the next book. We'll get to that.
Okay.
All right, for Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel.
I'm your co-host, Emma Wiegel.
Good day and good gaming.